As the Democrat House managers are wrapping up their opening arguments today, again, the president's legal team is set to be laying out their case tomorrow. I do want to bring in Congressman Mike Johnson now, who is on President Trump's legal team, to talk about their strategy. Hi, Congressman. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
New reports say that Sekulow and Cipollone are planning to use just 2 hours of their allotted time tomorrow to lay out the case, pushing further arguments on to Monday. Can you give us some more insight on that decision?
The true facts and the true case presented. We've been waiting a long time for that, and to this point it hasn't been a fair fight because Adam Schiff and the Democrats, Pelosi and Nadler and the rest, have manufactured this whole charade. We call it a sham for good reason. The president had his due process rights violated, House rules and the federal rules of civil procedure all the way across the board. So finally, we get our day in court. We really would like for a large majority of the American people to have the ability to watch that and to see that case put on. And so Saturday's probably not the optimal time to do it. So if we terminate it after a couple of hours, that allows Monday to be really the big day for the full case to be presented.
Congressman, the Democrat House managers have faced criticism for their conduct on the Senate floor, specifically Nadler calling this a GOP cover-up. Does his conduct hurt the Democrats' chances of being able to negotiate with Republicans to possibly bring forward more witnesses?
It was a rather shocking thing for Chairman Nadler, Manager Nadler, to say that on the floor. He effectively accused the Republican senators of being engaged in some sort of conspiracy or cover-up. Look, you don't have to be a third-year law student to understand that is not how you win friends and influence people in a jury, and that's effectively what the senators are, is the jurors. So I thought it was terribly counterproductive and foolish for them to do that, and even surprising, and not much surprises us on Capitol Hill anymore.
Looking forward to the defense rebuttal to the House impeachment manager's case here. What can we expect to be the overall message from the defense? How long, ultimately, do you see this trial playing out there in the Senate?
Well, our objective will not be to run out the clock, that's for sure. This case is ironclad for the defense side. When you have the law and the facts on your side, it's a good position to be in when you're in trial. I litigated constitutional law cases for 20 years before I got to Congress. I never had one that was this airtight. So we'll make a concise presentation of that, make sure the case is forcefully presented. And I think the overall message will be the one from a constitutional standpoint, because that's what all this hinges upon. And I think Professor Dershowitz is going to make that argument very well, probably on Monday. And he'll explain to the Senate their role under our constitutional structure is to first answer the threshold question, and that is, are these valid articles of impeachment? They're not legitimate. And the reason is because it doesn't affect treason, bribery, or a high crime or misdemeanor. They've alleged abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, neither of which are a crime, much less a high crime. So once that answer comes forward and that question is answered decisively, it dispenses with the whole case, and I think we'll get this sad, sordid chapter behind us for all the American people.
President Trump is set to be delivering the State of the Union in the House on February 4th. That's a week from Tuesday. If this trial has wrapped by then and he's been acquitted by the Senate, could we expect to see kind of a victory lap from the president there in the lower chamber?
I think so, and he will richly deserve that. He has been treated so unfairly in this process, and you have to remember, before this ever began, the House Democrats had already predetermined the political outcome here. They promised an impeachment to their base before he even took his oath of office in 2017, and so this has been going on a long time. Before July of this past year, when the president had the famous phone call with Ukraine's President Zelensky, 95 members of the House of Representatives had already voted to impeach Donald Trump. So this had nothing to do with the call with Ukraine or objective searches for the truth or the facts. This was their political vendetta. They've exacted it. It's going to backfire on them now, and I think the president will be right to take a victory lap.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.